What's up, everybody? Welcome back to GameSpot. Cross Kinda Funny as our big old naughty blog, Uncharted rock block keeps happening.
I don't know what the
Wow.
hell
I'm
you
Greg
just said.
Miller. That's the
Wow.
Bible on Colin. This, Troy Baker.
I love that you like stuttered. You went, that's, who is that?
Who's this guy?
Who is
It's
this
your
guy?
hair. You
The
cut
hair
off
is
all your
different.
hair. You did the Samson move. You don't have
It's-
strength anymore.
It's weird. I look at E3 like the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And so like January, it's like the Chinese New Year for me because this is like when we get to see everything for the
Sure.
first time. So there's like a freshness to it. So I decided to chop it.
Was it 43? It wasn't for a role?
No.
You-
What I
you
do?
weren't getting
No.
it. You wanted to get
Put it back in a ponytail.
character?
Put it in the helmet. But you should have seen literally on the. I had to talk. I have a great friend who cuts my hair, and she had to have a moment to like bring herself to. But it was like below my
You had-
shoulders.
yeah, long,
it was
long,
long.
beautiful
And on the
flowing locks.
floor was just like this. It looked like someone had just thrown the carcasses of gerbils just
No.
on the floor. It was great.
Was there even a like? Was it just time? Did you
It was time.
debate it?
It was time, and my little brother Foster
Your
kept
little- Brian
like
Foster, yes.
giving me like grief over it, and so I wanted to surprise everybody, and there was no remorse. There was like, let's do this. Let's do this. This is how we're starting the interview, is by me talking about my hair.
He's Troy Baker. What else do you expect from him?
Is it?
Nick's tweeting
and
about
it's
it.
trending.
It's trending on Twitter.
Troy's haircut is trending.
So, anyways, fine. Let's talk about Uncharted.
Okay, so we sit back and we work on the game for a long time, and you know we get to play it out in our mind and what way it's going to look.
Yeah.
The first time that I got to see the demo finalized, finished, was at the press conference, and then I was sitting right next to Laura Bailey, and
Never heard of her.
she's a brilliant actress. She was the belle of the ball.
She was in a lot of trailers.
There was a lot. I was like, there we go, abdicated the throne.
She's coming for your throne, yeah.
She is, man, and she can have it. She's talented. But we're sitting there watching it, and I go back to me as a fanboy, 5-6 years ago, and being such a fan of this franchise, and never would have thought that I would be sitting in that seat. First of all, every time I get to go to the press conference or come into E3 or whatever, I still feel like I've fooled somebody and that I've somehow
Sure.
snuck in the back door. And to be sitting there watching that on that massive screen and hearing the people's response and seeing how good it looks to be in an Uncharted game is like feather in the cap. It's amazing.
Is it a different vibe working on that game and doing the mocap and stuff for it, and obviously capturing all the stuff at the same time than Last of Us?
Yeah, I mean, every game is intrinsically going to have its own DNA, and it's going to feel differently when you're making it. And Uncharted has its own voice. It has its own thing, and that's, The Last of Us had that challenge, making sure that even though it was a Naughty Dog game, it wanted to feel like a Naughty Dog game but not feel like Uncharted.
Sure.
With two different people walking around. So going back to Uncharted, this is the first time I've ever been on a set of Uncharted.
Yeah.
But it's fun to see, Nolan riff and all the things you think about as a fan to see, oh, this actually does happen. He and Sully do give each other gruff between takes. But yeah, in this, to me, one of the challenges of doing a franchise is making sure that you're not just rehashing and going, now we're going here. And
Right.
It feels like a different experience. And I think that from the top down, from what Neil and Bruce, the game that they're creating, Josh, the game that he's writing, and letting this feel like it's the culmination of something that fans have been with for almost 10 years,
Yeah.
And making this feel like a payoff to some of the other things. There's things to me that as a fan I look and I see we're paying off from 1, from 2, from 3, and making this feel like a different experience, and that you as fans have grown with this franchise, the characters have grown through the franchise. It's a different Nate Drake. It's a
Yeah.
different Sully. You got this new character, Sam, that comes in that kind of like, shakes up the mix a little bit. The relationship between Nate and Elena is a little bit different. So
It better be different in a good way. If they
it's
do the whole
different in a
break
great
'em-
way.
all right, good. All right.
I
I'll allow it.
love that Elena doesn't serve the function of a romantic interest, that she has agency in this story.
Right. Yeah.
And that was even from the onset of 1. Like, she starts out being this photojournalist babe
Punches
in the
him,
woods.
right? And she grabs him and punches him that time.
And then she kicks his ass.
Yeah.
So that's good.
So now,
What?
I have sources
Okay.
at Naughty Dog,
Okay.
and so they made a big deal about how this wasn't captured exactly the same as, of course, Last of Us was.
Okay,
You
right.
had new mocap suits that I guess helped you do all this different stuff out there.
Something
So
like that.
I'm looking at these things here. These are some of the
That was me
mocap
prepping
suits.
for the role. Now, obviously, we take place in a pirate.
Right.
It's
and
a pirate story.
It was just a weird mix-up of putting a pirate like Sam Drake is some kind
With-
of future.
Look at
pirate.
that. Now, that's actually Greg Sipes.
Oh, okay.
No, that's me. Don't I look like a hobbit? I look super short in this picture for some reason.
You look like the weirdest.
Here's what's
you look
terrifying.
like a broke-ass gypsy
How-
who just rolled into town.
How did I not notice that many pictures were being taken? That one I remember, and I was like, guys, don't take this picture. That's literally what I'm saying. And I have this weird, like,
Yeah,
Abbey
hands
Road walk.
Yeah, you are trying to
Yeah,
stop
the
it. It is
like-
a very paparazzi
It's-
photo of you
it's-
trying to
I'm
stop
not
it.
John. I'm not Paul. I'm neither of them. But yeah,
This one almost looks super epic, except for the Frappuccino. In
The
your
thing
hand.
about
except for the
this is that-
Frappuccino and the Gardettos.
The thing about this is that I feel like, California generally is weird enough where you could just be a normal gentleman going to get some Doritos in the store and then
Yeah.
you're going about your business.
Yeah, you're just,
Now,
you're just there. You're just checking out.
We went to every year we go to the Ren Fair. It's one of our favorite holidays to go to. But we didn't stop there. There's a place called Oubliette, which in French means place of forgetting. And you say, I'll have a Mutter's Milk. And they say, okay, Mutter's Milk. And they give you a pint of ale. And they say, hands behind your back. Don't stop chugging till I stop pouring. And they grab like raspberry mead. And they start pouring it. It's a frat party. And you have to chug, 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 chug. We did that 3 times. That's not good. And I literally don't remember past that last time. But apparently we went to a restaurant that we frequent quite often in full garb, in full regalia.
Oh, good. Okay.
With no apologies, unabashedly.
Were you in character the whole time? Oh, bring me more, girl.
Oh, meat. But you can only call your server a wench once before management comes over and has a conversation with you.
We're glad you guys are having fun.
Yeah, thanks
but
so much. You need
stop.
to leave.
Yeah, you should
we do
stop
not
that.
validate your parking. Hope you enjoyed your steak fries.
Now I'm going to say, we can talk about Uncharted and we can talk about Renaissance fairs, and that's all well and that's all good. But that jacket,
This
that
jacket,
jacket's fantastic.
Oh,
I
this
wanna
little
talk
jacket?
about-
Any print on it?
That's
It's,
a fantastic jacket.
I stole this from a homeless person who was very sharply dressed.
I think it was just a person, Troy.
I don't know, man. Yes, thank you.
Oh, you look like
I love you, Colin.
You look like I love you too. You
I
look
feel
like
so cool.
Now,
This shirt is reflective, by the way. It says it. This is reflective.
this is reflective. Very good.
So I can
Kinda
go
funny.
running or just be seen. I can't be incognito in this shirt.
They're not all gems, Troy. Don't worry. I can go running.
So Uncharted's next year. You have a game that's imminent.
Yes.
It's imminent. Batman, of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you excited for everyone to finally get their hands on this bad boy?
Yeah, and what I love about that game is, they're finally lauding it as, the epic culmination of that franchise as well. And I was super surprised at the Sony presser, the intro that they showed to that.
And that was my tweet of like, oh, you haven't finished Arkham City? Fuck you. You're out of time. This is how it ends.
But even, starting off first person that way, going in with the great VO from Gordon, to me, it really sets tonally what that game is. It's always been a dark game,
Yeah.
but that was like really dark. We're going back to even darker than what like the Scarecrow missions were in the original Asylum. And it still takes me back. Like, I read Arkham Asylum, the graphic novel, years and years ago, and when I found out they were making the game, I didn't know how they were going to take that graphic novel. Like, of all the graphic novels, why would you take that one and try to turn it into a game? And the way that they've iterated upon that, first of all, shows the strength of the Batman franchise, that, not only over 75 years of history, but to be able to take something like that and be able to embellish upon it and incorporate all different elements into it and then create your own narrative and your own version of those characters through that and have that be so prolific really says a lot about Rocksteady and again, the Batman franchise. I'm super thrilled that I got to come back because I got Two-Face as a fluke. I was originally coming in to do some one-off characters, and I got to do Nightwing, and then they said, hey, do you think you can do this? And Richard Mall was like that's as Mark Hamill is my Joker, Richard Mall is my Two-Face, because I think he just did such a great job with the animated series. So to be able to kind of emulate that in this franchise was huge. But Foster and I and Travis both are just saying that's pretty much going to take over our lives next week. That's been a long time coming. And what's great is that we're at this point where everyone, pissed and moaned because all these games were being delayed, but now they're here.
The games are coming out.
Shut up and just play it and enjoy it and realize it was all worth it.
Yeah, it's nice that the games are finally getting here, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What I'm most curious about with you, Troy, because like you're you're so talented, and you find these, you know, it just seems like you identify great games in their embryonic state in order to attach yourself to these projects, because I'm sure people are knocking down your door in order to like get you on these games.
I've had a few misses. There's been a few. This is going to be the greatest game ever, and no, it's not. It's in the bargain bin 2 weeks after it comes out.
But how do you find, at least these last few years, like, are people like knocking down your door to get attached to these games? How do you identify what games you want to be part of and what games you don't want to be part of?
Okay, anytime as an actor, anytime you get a job, that's a win. You're in an industry that 90% of its workforce is unemployed. So it's never lost to me. Anytime someone says, yes, we want you, that's a huge win. The greatest compliment that an actor can be given, I think, is to be thought of as a solution to a problem. And it's like with Uncharted, Neil calling me up is like, I got to pull you in. Can you do this? I need someone that understands the franchise, that we know we can work with, that has a relationship with Nolan, that basically has that banter already back and forth.
Right.
And that, to me, more than anything, more than like awards or even money or anything else, is for someone who you respect to look at you and go, you can solve our problem. And so, yeah, it becomes this minefield that you have to tap dance around, because like last year, we had no control over when all of these games are going to come out. Every game that I was in slipped, and they just happened to come out at the same time. It was like within months of each other. And for like someone who's in film or whatever, that would be death. You become the Nick Cage of that, and that's the one thing I didn't want to become in games. So yeah, you start kind of parsing out, going, okay, this is kind of similar to something I've done before. What it won't really be a challenge. If it's not a challenge for me, I want you to find someone that it is a challenge for, because they will inherently do a better job. So we start crafting opportunities, and we start having conversations, and you know, eventually this train is going to pull into the last stop, and it's people are going to get sick of me. No. It's totally fine. It's just I'm a prize fighter. That's the way that I look at it. And I remember Sugar Shane Mosley was my favorite boxer, and I remember his first fight, and I remember his last fight, and they were 6 years apart. So that's not a long time. But what he accomplished in that time, he set records, you know, and that's all you can hope to do is get in the ring and take punches and knockouts, and that's what you want to focus on. And then eventually try to start parlaying that in other things. And I'd love to, you know, position myself to stay working inside of games, but maybe in a different capacity, maybe in a different role. Maybe looking into producing, maybe looking into directing. I don't know. I just want to stay working in this industry because I believe in it. I believe that games are the evolution of the narrative. And I believe that people want experiences, they just don't want to be entertained.
I like that prize fighter metaphor. That's perfect.
I wanted to tell you.
That means in 5 years, I'm going to be talking like this very slowly.
Such a fantastic answer. Totally marred by Travis Willingham leaning
Everybody
in.
Said,
Like
okay,
like, come here, Travis. Get up here.
Said.
Get up here, Travis.
Yeah, no. Now you did it.
Now you got to Travis Willingham. Get up here.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage
Travis Willingham.
my best
everybody.
friend and nemesis.
Where's one of the oh shit mics?
The almighty dub, Travis Willingham.
Kevin, I need a mic up here.
Did you reference yourself as a prize fighter?
Hold on, we're getting you a mic right now. No, right there, Travis.
I like it. Travis asked if I referenced myself as a prize fighter. I likened my career to that of a prize fighter, meaning
they're going on your huge noggin. Hold on.
Meaning you take a lot of hits.
Now angle that guy towards your mouth. There you go. Keep eating whatever you're eating.
You try to stay on your
Always
feet
camera ready
for as long as you can. It takes a team around you. You got to have your cut man. You got to have your trainer.
I feel like we need fan art of you as a prize fighter, though. I mean, I want to see like wrapped knuckles. I want to see.
Ladies and gentlemen,
bloody and bruised.
Tweet at Kinda Funny Vids and at Troy Baker VA.
I do not doubt that literally within 30 seconds, it's like at the New York Comic Con, somebody within 60 seconds of me doing that Joker monologue already had the coolest picture of me up.
Oh, yeah.
With a half me, half Joker.
Right.
And I asked, she was like, who did it? I was like, I don't know, man.
Especially with
Our
the new
audience
hair.
are crazy, yeah.
With the new hair, we could get like some Muay Thai fighter thing going on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, some ribbons.
But
Absolutely.
I want
like
like
it.
if it's like UFC, I want like round 3, end of that last round,
Yes.
like beaten, like trying to look like Tom Hardy and Warrior, like beaten up.
I would
and
be
then
down for that.
If you're gonna do this, Photoshop this. Like huge.
Photo it down, right?
No.
Right,
Travis,
slobbing like
give
Justin
Travis's
Bieber.
physique. to your face.
That would be amazing.
Travis, take off your shirt. Show,
But
us, show us your pecs.
then-
They're dancing!
My
What
head-
happened?
See,
Did
Travis-
anything happen?
Oh, we got to have Nick
here's
up
what
here
happened.
do the peck dance off.
There'll
of
be
you.
a little slow-mo that later.
Travis's head is proportionate to his body because it's massive.
It is.
My head on Travis's body would look like, oh.
That's true. I'd gotta be walking around
Were
like.
you born in the 8th month? And not, did mommy need to stick you in the oven just a little bit
just to
longer?
cook just a little
Or
bit
as
more.
Jeff Ross says, you would look like what the, as if the morning after pill kind of worked.
Did I hear, and going by, did I hear you talking about the Renaissance Fair goodness
yeah.
earlier?
Did you see the pictures?
Did the picture go up?
Yeah, yeah, we
Oh,
put
yeah.
up pictures.
All of them.
Of the flowing?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Of
no,
the
no,
hair?
no.
The
But
hand
also,
with the stop.
Yeah,
Please
like,
don't
don't
take this
take
photo.
this
We
picture.
called him the Spice Merchant,
yeah.
right? Because in all of the blue and the light blue, like he was literally the most exotic spice merchant. And the thing is, you only
Exotic.
have one outfit, right? You haven't
Exotic
committed to
in the same way that the
multiple?
dancer. Okay, no,
Right.
here's how it happens. We ingratiate. We're taking up everybody's time. I have a feeling like Shoes' time is just getting completely wiped off the map. It's like
No,
we
she's
don't have,
enthralled by this.
Oh yeah,
We don't have-
kick
we don't
us
have
out of
time
here
for you
whenever,
today.
because we'll talk about nothing forever.
we bring you into the Renaissance Fair. You must dress in normal clothes. Look at that. Look at that.
There it is. Yeah, we're
It looks
Oh.
like Greg Sipes, doesn't it?
I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
man,
but
this
you
is
you
great,
got
everybody.
braziers on. There's a little e-cig action happening. You got
got your
sunglasses
gauntlet.
Kevin, you got the
inside.
clothes back up.
You walk in and you get your commemorative mug. You walk to the first beer stand because it's 11 a.m. and you need alcohol, and you start drinking.
That's the one. That's the one.
That's the photo
if,
we
If
want.
the wind's
Here it
not
is.
going through the hair, we're cheating the audience. I mean, really, it is a beautiful thing to
There
behold.
is someone with a fan walking in front of me. That's a thing, dude. That's like a.
You
that's
kind of look like a show dog. It's amazing. It's kind of like
A
looking at like a
lopso.
Western.
But I was saying, like here in California, we see a lot of weird things. That I would walk into the convenience store to get my Gatorade or whatever, and I'd see that and be like, all right, this gentleman's just going about his
Nobody
business.
gave me a second look. Even the guy at the register was like, "Sure, why not? It's
Yeah, you
Saturday."
see people that kind of go like,
No reaction
all
whatsoever.
right, yeah, it's a Saturday.
Now this is happening.
You're wearing period
So,
guard. Yeah.
we'll put them away. We'll go back to talking about Uncharted.
All right.
Now-
Wait, did you just get a look from Bruce Straley like talk about the game?
Oh, Bruce don't care.
pulled out
Long
a
hair,
little
Bruce
knife.
don't care.
He's like,
Now, Travis, who are you in Uncharted? I've noticed that you guys are
I'm not
you
allowed
are
to disclose.
You're a traveling gang of voice actors. If one of you pops up, the rest are there somewhere, hidden in the.
You know, we're just a traveling gang of rogue voice actors. I'm actually not in Uncharted.
You get to appreciate this one as a pure fan.
That's right, I do. And I frequently tell Troy anything with Naughty Dog. I'm like, do not tell me.
Did you just swallow wrong?
What have you been eating for 10 minutes on the stage?
It was like a wintergreen lifesaver, and it betrayed me. It tried to kill me just then. Anything with Naughty Dog, I'm like, don't tell me. Don't tell me on Last of Us. Don't tell me on Uncharted, because I want the story. I don't want any kind of like hidden peek into what happens. And I know other people that are also in Uncharted, which I'm not allowed to say anything about, but I know nothing about
So
the
your
story.
wife?
Yes. No. Who's that?
Who?
My wife? We're
Laura
married.
Bailey,
No.
woman in everything.
We saw the extended demo, though, and I was telling Bruce and Troy and Neil that whoever was playing that demo over and over again has the hardest job in the world. That demo looked so insanely hard to play, and I know they've probably done it 1,000 times, but he was headshotting people while hanging from the crane, being dragged through the mud when the thing flips over. Ugh.
Can we also just throw out some extra love for one Bruce Straley?
Yeah.
And how I didn't see anybody else, and if I'm wrong, there was No Man's Sky that they played live, but I don't think anybody else did a live
Gameplay.
demo at the presser.
Seriously.
There's Foster. And Bruce has had the game break on him. He has died. He has coined the Bruce because the cord was too
Yep.
long. And that man got so much love because there was nothing better than when they opened it, it was like, all right, let's go. And Nate just stands there in that idle pose. And
Yeah.
he couldn't get it to work, and they had to restart it. And the 10,000 people just
Worst case scenario.
As
Love.
soon as he took a
It's like
step, as
you
soon
were
as he
loved.
moved one sec.
and it was great. And that, again, I think that just shows that Naughty Dog makes games for gamers. They make games that ingratiate their fans to them because you can tell that they're gamers that are making games. But I got to say, Bruce never stopped doing live demos because they are infinitely more entertaining than anybody else.
That's true.
Sorry, Nick's
you
over
walk
here
up?
now.
Hi,
Nick's bringing
Tim.
waters in. Nick's doing stuff.
buddy.
He's running around. Tim's out there, and I hear Ashley Johnson's in the crowd now, too.
She is.
There's
over
So
there.
again,
Ashley
the
Johnson.
traveling voice actor rogues gallery.
Look at those stars.
Any second, Laura Bailey's going to come over the side of the wall.
She'll come rappelling down.
Roger Craig Smith zip lines in.
We saw the signal. Is everything all right? So then, I mean, for both of you, you don't want to know about Naughty Dog games.
Right.
You keep popping up in Naughty Dog games. What makes Naughty Dog special to you guys?
Go.
The story. I mean, it's the storytelling
Yep.
for me. I mean, it's literally the combination of gameplay gameplay supporting the story. I mean, for me, the two demos for me were the Tomb Raider trailer, and Uncharted 4.
Yeah.
They never cease to amaze me with the environments, the scenarios, the walking through the crowd in the trailer alone, and then it breaking into chaos, and then all of a sudden you've left that area that the trailer starts in, and you've moved all the way down the side of that hill. Now you're going through ravines along the side of the bridge, or you're on a crane. If you see the extended trailer, it moves even further into other environments. Like, I just start to wonder, compared to other games that I've played, I wonder if other developers are going like, okay, well, there goes the bar all the way up. You know? It's just really impressive.
To me,
So,
I think it's a top-down philosophy that says Naughty Dog says we want to make a game that we want to play, and they're constantly asking themselves that question all the way through. And this demo didn't just go, oh, this is the demo we're going to do, and they made it. There were several hard choices that they made and things that were going to be really, really cool that they decided to cut. And they I hope I'm not telling tales out of school, but there was one thing that they could have done just for the demo to really wow people, but then they would have had to go back and deconstruct everything because there's no way they could have done it in the game. And they decided to not represent a game just for E3 that they couldn't do that was actually going to be on the shelves for gamers. And that's a really, really hard choice for a developer to make.
Totally.
So for them to be able to do that shows that they want to make a game that they're proud of, that they want to play, that feels fun to them, that feels grounded, that feels real, that they know they can hand to someone and feel proud of and know that they're not going to disappoint. And I think a lot of people glossed over the fact that when you're in the truck, that wasn't scripted. Like, Bruce was choosing, I'm going to go this way versus this way. So as opposed to people going, oh, well, now we need to go open world because that will amaze people, it's understanding what people want out of a game, giving them elements of that, but still keeping it within the DNA of what they do, what they do well. So I remember watching through the first iteration of the demo going, wait, the first time you went this way, but now you went this way.
Exactly.
There's no yellow path that's showing you have to go this way, and if you go this way, you'll run into a hedge or a fence that won't allow you to do that. There's multiple ways of being able to do that, and that to me blew my mind.
Yeah, somebody goes, oh, you don't have to drive that fast either. I was like, you mean you control the speed and the direction that you're going and the environment is totally destructible? It just
massive.
Yeah, it kills you.
Huge.
I'm going to follow the street.
Yeah? You're just going to stay on the street?
Nah.
Stop at the stop
Tenants
sign?
do.
No, the debris. I'm aiming for the sheds, the debris
You
where
wanna
the
blow shit
pedestrians
up.
are. I want to see people going over the windshield.
Mon Dieu!
Yeah, mon Dieu!
So how hard is it to come to shows like this, and mainly for Troy, since Travis is unemployed, I assume?
Yeah, totally.
For you, Troy, how hard is it to come to shows like this and talk about a game like Uncharted but not tip your hand to what you know or what's happening in the story or ruin
Worst
it?
part of the job.
Yeah.
Worst part of the job is that you get to be a part of making something so cool that nobody can know about. And we've seen kind of that embargo start moving closer and closer up to, or further away from the date.
Right.
They start letting some information slide because people get more savvy. It's almost impossible to control all information. It used to be, I remember for Final Fantasy, I wasn't allowed to announce that I was playing Snow until I walked out on stage at the launch and said, by the way, this is why I'm even here. So, I think that there's more of a partnership mentality between the actors and the team to understand that we can really help proliferate this game because there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of games that are coming out, and it needs ambassadors to speak up and talk about it. So we're happy to be in that position to be able to speak intelligently about games, so they bring us in to understand what it is that we're making. So we're not just focusing on this one part, but being able to have actual talking points that we're excited about. But yeah, it's super hard to come here and not go, oh, I want you to see this one specific thing.
That's the thing. What can you even say about Sam, right? Like, he's his brother, and
he's his brother. They've been estranged for some time. And to me, we've talked about this. It's his older brother. I'm glad you're sitting here.
Yeah.
there's so many things that Travis and I workshop together with, because there's things that the jobs that he'll be on that he's like, hey, help me out with this, or I'm the same way. He's like, help me out with this, because we understand how each other works, and we understand each other's pitfalls. And he and I'm older than him, but in so many ways he's the older brother.
I was gonna say he looks like shit though, but you look
I know.
awesome.
That's true.
I look damn near
terrible.
40.
You're being mean today.
Travis loves it.
I'm working on the Reed
Travis.
Richards thing. I'm trying to.
I love
as
it.
much as I can.
But it's understanding that age does not necessarily mean elder.
Right.
And he's got a younger brother that he has to be the older brother for, and so that I do a lot of stupid stuff, and so he's always there to kind of like bring me back to center. And that to me is the relationship that Sam and Nate have, which is they were both stuck in this one time and they both needed each other for this one thing. But now Nate's kind of moved on from that, and he's found his family in Sully and Elena, and he's been able to move on. I don't think Sam ever has. So in some ways, Sam is actually younger than Nate. So the elder becomes the younger, and the younger becomes the elder. And that to me is a source of that contention between the two of them.
Sure.
So, when he and his younger brother Carson, he used to always be able to beat him up, but then Carson got big.
Grew
and
up.
The first time he was like shoved him, and Carson shoved him back. It's like, wait a minute.
The tables have changed here.
And like there's like heads going through walls and stuff.
Oh.
So I'm really excited for people to see that dynamic, because we've seen kind of the conflict between Nate and Sully. We've seen the conflict between Nate and Elena, and obviously all the other characters you got through there. This is a new addition to that kind of is something new and fresh to it that I'm excited for people to see.
I can't wait. Uncharted 4.
Yep.
2016.
2016.
Whatever Travis is working on someday. Do you want to pimp anything? Just your Twitter?
Tetris 2.
Tetris 2.
I'm working on
it's
that.
about time.
Gritty
All right.
reboot of Tetris 2.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's going to be AR, augmented reality. It's going to be amazing.
He plays the T.
Oh, wow. There it is. There it is. Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, my God. It's exclusive for
Now
you.
go the other way.
Ladies
other
and
way.
gentlemen, thank you for watching GameSpot Cross Kinda Funny. We're going nowhere. We're here all day long. But right now, Nick and Alfredo are going to tell you about a game they saw, or whatever the hell Nick talks about.